administration finally takes a stand against someone, and that someone is Little Debbie. What the hell? I wonder if they're that bad for us. I mean, we are like a nation of big fat lard ass fat filled fatties, so there might be something to it. I don't know. Did you? Not that this has anything to do with anything. Did you hear Mark Maron's interview with Obama? Yeah.
Did you?
That was something. Getting the President of the United States of America to come to your garage for an informal chat.
You know, it was in Pasadena, too. They closed down all the streets. It was in my hood.
Yeah.
So, now I know where Mark Maron lives. I'm in Ding Dong Ditch. While he's on the air.
Yeah.
I left my glasses here. Oh, look.
It was crazy. I mean, like...
Did you hear it? Did you hear the whole thing? Did you hear the
I heard the whole thing. I am not an Obama fan. I view many things that I'm not one of those people that thinks he's out to destroy the universe. I'm sort of, weirdly enough, I'm a moderate in that I'm sort of with Bill O'Reilly on this one. Like, whoa. When Bill O'Reilly had Obama on his show, everyone was like, come on, Bill, tear him down. Yeah, you know what to do. And either Bill O'Reilly admitted that he didn't think he was a Kenyan communist that was trying to destroy America and the world. Or he just wussed the hell out, because O'Reilly and me basically feel the same way about Obama, which is like, nice try, swing and a miss, and don't agree with how you're trying to get there. But the interview was great. The interview, like, Mark Maron knocked that one out of the park. It's weird. I discovered Mark Maron, like a lot of people did, through his podcast. Like, everybody's known him, or people I know have known him since like the 80s as a stand-up comic, and I just couldn't. I was like, oh, I really like his podcast. Maybe I'll like his stand-up comedy too. It just didn't. It's just not for me. But man, he's right up there with the great interviewers of our time. He's right up there with Stern and me and him. I think those are all the people that matter in this situation. But I've been steering away from the self-aggrandizing talk radio thing. I figure I should do it every once in a while. Feels okay. But no, Maron's like a really, really solid interviewer. It was really, really good. I was very impressed that he managed to hold it together while there was like Secret Service snipers on his roof and the president was sitting there in his garage. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. The first.
Crazy. Also, to me, shows just how checked out Obama is. Because, like, Obama is good at being funny and clever and being a political observer. I think he can't wait to bail on the presidency and just be a guy that goes around talking, being funny and clever. I think that's what he wants to do. I don't think he wants responsibility anymore. Yeah, I think he wants to slow jam news. And I think he wants to be an observer and be a public speaker. He's going after some of that. He's like, Hillary made how much per speech? Oh, God, I can't wait to... It's like being a radio consultant is what it is. Like, you get these consultants that roll through, and I guess you get them in a lot of different businesses where it's just like they come in, they find problems that don't necessarily exist, and they say they're going to fix them, and then they take money for fixing these problems, which didn't necessarily exist in the first place, pat themselves on the back for having fixed them, and walk away. If it works, then you get all the credit. If it doesn't work, well, you didn't implement my plan the way I told you to. Either way, my hands are clean. I think that's what Obama wants to do. I think he's checked out of the White House mentally and is just ready to travel the country being funny and clever. I think that's pretty much it. What else?
Check out my podcast coming 2016.
Obamacast.
Obamacast.co.uk. Lisbon. Kim Kardashian says the most children she plans to have is 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the maximum number she thinks she can effectively screw up. I mean, beyond that, you're probably passing kids off to nannies more often, and you can't effectively get your hooks into that many children at any one given time and turn them into the awful people that would make them an accepted part of your family. One might slide through and pick up some values and redeeming characteristics, and we couldn't have that. Go on.
Bush Kardashian, 2042. Diddy was arrested yesterday for assaulting his son's football coach after practice at UCLA.
Yeah. Making it Diddy's first hit in years. Apparently, like, it's funny because back in the day when gangster rap first became a thing, it was kind of this scary quantity. Like, ooh, these guys are like actual gangsters. Like, got to be careful of them. One never knows when they might pop a cap in one's ass. And here's the thing: most of them, even like NWA, like Ice Cube, when he talks about it now, will be like, yeah, we weren't gangsters. We were just talking about a lifestyle that we grew up around and saw on the streets. Now, growing up in Compton, growing up in South Central LA in the 90s, not super awesome good time. So I think we can give them a pass for not actually being gang members in a lot of cases, and not being people that would do stuff like that. But occasionally you come across those folks that were just, faking the funk. A lot of them were. A lot of them were not gangster. A lot of them were about as gangster as the Easter Bunny and wouldn't hurt a fly. It was just some posturing for the sake of money and a career. Diddy, on the other hand, Diddy and JayZ are legit nuts. You might not remember this, but I think it was like right around 2000. JayZ had to go to jail because somebody leaked a copy of his album. He walked right up to him in the middle of the nightclub. He didn't get somebody else to do it. He didn't get a henchman to do it. He walked right up to the guy and said, "You broke my heart," and stabbed him. And now he's like, I don't know, going on Ellen and stuff like that. But let's not forget, stabbed a guy for leaking his album. This is after he's already really, really successful. And Diddy was, make no mistake, he walked it like he talked it too. Case in point, he doesn't really have the sense of perspective that is necessary to go through life when you're not a rap mogul / guy that roughs people up. What he did to this college football coach after a practice at UCLA, he picked up one of those kettlebell things and swung it at his head. Ay caramba. That's it. His first hit in years.
But I'm getting really hateful. Billionaires and losers both get their asses bailed out, and I'm stuck in the middle like a sucker giving handouts. So I'll give you the unleash.
By the early 1980s, Queen were one of the biggest stadium rock bands in the world, and their performance at 1985's Live Aid is regarded as one of the greatest in rock history. In November 1991, Mercury died of bronchopneumonia. Deacon retired in 1997. Since then, May and Taylor have infrequently performed together, including a collaboration with Paul Rodgers, which ended in May 2009. Queen released a total of 18 number one albums, 18 number one singles. Estimates of their album sales generally range from 200 to 300 million albums, making them one of the world's best-selling music artists. They received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the British phonographic industry in 1990 and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Queen coming up.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I don't know how to talk like a parent. Don't make me come back there. You see what I mean? It's pretty awful. Try it again. Don't make me come back there. Now that's pretty good. That one kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah, yeah. You've been talking about me for a long time.
All right, Funkhauser, what other items of news do we have on the agenda? See what I did there? It was like I was a Swedish broadcaster. What news do we have on the agenda?
Well, Charlie Sheen went on a violent Twitter rant again, Tiger Blood, about Denise Richards this time. I was on 2.5 Men.
Adonis DNA.
I think I was in
bitchin'
Top
rock
Gun.
star from Mars. I'm on a drug. That drug's Charlie Sheen. Yeah, he went on a violent Twitter rant about Denise Richards. It was very creative.
Who, Denise Richards or Charlie Sheen?
No, his violent Twitter rant. Yeah, he did it after realizing it had been a good 5 seconds since he'd gone on a violent Twitter rant about something. Where is the violent? I think I saved it because it contains some very colorful and creative language. Like, the guy's not well, but his command over the English language, I think it was something that gets overlooked a lot of the time when Charlie Sheen goes on his violent Twitter rants, is the fact that...
I was the progenitor of Twitter.
Yeah, he was a progenitor of Twitter rants. But, like, Charlie Sheen has quite the verbose and creative command of the English language, and I think that's often overlooked because of his high levels of crazy. He's essentially warlocking again, I suppose. Epic Twitter rant against his ex-wife, Denise Richards. It started when he called his other ex-wife, Brooke Mueller, a, quote, sexy rock star whom I adore.
Sexy rock star. Yes. I adore
and said
that.
Says Denise is a, quote, heretic washed up piglet shame pile. That's good.
Heretic washed up piglet shame pile. Hashtag ex-wife.
And then he moved over to Twit Longer, where he really unloaded. Remember that? Twit
I have more
Longer?
than 140 characters.
Yeah, and he does he ever? He called Denise a, quote, shakedown piece of S, F-faced, and the worst mom alive. The names didn't stop there. He also called her a leaky diaper and a... He called her a
leaky diaper.
He called her a terrorist sack of landfill rash.
Wow, how descriptive. That's like describe this painting in 5 words.
No, it gets better. I'm telling you, man. In his moments of crazy, he's quite the wordsmith. He called her a leaky and malaria-riddled puddle of crap stink decay. He insulted her acting ability, saying, quote, bitch couldn't act hot in a fire or wet in a pool.
Couldn't act hot in a fire.
And he railed at her for calling him a deadbeat dad, even though he claims he's given her $30 million. There were also some cracks about Bon Jovi guitar player Richie Sambora and how he supposedly called Charlie to ask him how to deal with Denise's odor down there.
Man, he is a weird Twitterist. I'm just reading all of his tweets here.
Hold on a second. Hold on a cotton picking moment. He said, he alleged that guitar player Richie Sambora, who was with her after him, he alleged that guitar player Richie Sambora of Bon Jovi fame called him to ask him how to deal with Denise's odor down there, and Charlie said, quote, the only answer I had was to tell him to steep that hedgehog in bleach twice a day.
Steep that hedgehog.
In bleach. Twice a day. Twice a day. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, man. Fantastic usage of the English language. I guess, when speech is overly intricate and overly pretty, you call it flowery. His, I guess, would be thorny. It's very impressive stuff. Because obviously he's clearly high out of his mind on something. And to
life,
be able to hold
brother,
it together.
Life.
Well, he's on a drug called
Going
Charlie
through the Del
Sheen.
Taco drive-thru, talking to people. Hey, man, post this to Twitter. Tag me.
All right. Rest of the news.
Producers of The Avengers want Beyonce to join the sequel?
Right. Because if there's anyone who can add some depth to a movie, it's the wooden piece of automation from the Pink Panther movie. You remember her performance in the Pink Panther? No, of course you don't, because nobody saw it because it sucked, mostly because of her. It's just like, all right, you get Steve Martin in a movie with Beyonce and it sucks. It's not Steve Martin's fault. Go on.
Dad ass dough?
Yes, dat ass dough.
Yeah, dad ass dough.
Hashtag dat ass dough.
Chris Rock considered spending a year as host of The Daily Show.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. I think that would have worked out well. I mean, Chris Rock is legitimately hilarious. I think he could have rocked the living bejesus out of that, but he decided not to. Chris Rock considered spending a year as the host of The Daily Show. Funny because I recently considered spending a year spewing tired racial premises at comedy clubs, but decided against it too. Me and Chris Rock, potato.